reports to be the wetter of the 2 weekend days. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Katya Hall for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on this extraordinary Tuesday morning, June 14th. It's Flag Day, and you're tuning in to the world-famous Quality of Life radio show, and I'm your host, Gary Owen.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Bouvier.
And if you haven't figured it out already, you're streaming. Hopefully, you're tuning in and listening on Facebook Live. And if you're listening to us on WSTU 1450 or WPSL 1590, and you get to your place of residence or your place of work, and you want to still catch us live in the studio and catch our lovely faces, you can follow us on Facebook Live, Quality of Life Radio Show. Tommy B., we are here every single Tuesday, almost every single Tuesday morning.
We love it here. Gary, we come here every Tuesday morning really for three reasons. Number one, we love to showcase and support local business owners who we're going to be introducing here in just a moment. Let them shine and give them some love and exposure.
Affection?
Affection, yeah, that's a good word. And number two, we bring relevant content to our listeners. And so that's information people can really use in their life, not just fluff. And then last of all, you and I, we love to bring education and information about insurance planning, a lot of different insurance options out there to help improve the quality of life of our listeners.
And Tom, we're also going to share top 10 fascinating facts about the American flag in honor of Flag Day today. So we'll talk about that as well in the second segment of our show. And by the way, did you know that there's a federal law about displaying the flag and what you should do and you should not do? So stay tuned for that. We'll share with you a fun health fact. And then Tom and I will also share with you what happened this day in history. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of great stuff. And then also the third segment of our show, we're going to talk with you a little bit about Medicare, updating you about that and some of the things that have happened to us. We'd like to share our life's experiences with our listeners and our followers and our clients and prospective clients and our agents who may be listening in as well. So give you some ideas and insight of what's happening to us and all the fun and not so much fun that we're having with some of our issues and some of our clients. But anyway, we want to kind of focus a little bit this morning on Sir Richard Cushing of Cushing Claims. Good morning, Rich. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Gary. I'm great. How are you?
Well, I don't know. How do I sound?
Wonderful.
A little
Smooth and sexy.
A little stuffy.
Smooth and sexy.
Well, I got the face for radio, so I'm perfect for that. So, Rich, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, who you are. What the heck are you doing in my studio?
Exactly. Who the heck knows, right? I'm a public adjuster. I've worked as a public adjuster, adjusting claims since 2011. Before that, I was in mitigation. And going all the way back to 2004, I came to the Treasure Coast. And I promptly got smacked with 2 hurricanes.
Did you find any treasure?
Not a bit.
Daggone it, man.
So I'm here to talk and hopefully help people that have lived here for a while, people new to the area, about what's going on with hurricanes, how they get through it. More importantly, how they get through your insurance policy as it relates to that.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have a parallel career, don't we, in the insurance industry?
We do. You make the promise, I keep the promise.
You keep the promise, absolutely. And how long have you been doing this now, Rich?
As a contractor since 2004, as an adjuster since 2011.
All right. So hurricane season is upon us.
Yes.
What is your biggest piece of advice?
Don't participate. We get scares with hurricanes. Now we're going to see them probably every few weeks. Going into September and October, we're going to have everyone on the planet saying we're going to get hit with a major Cat 5 storm, Cat 3 storm. Everybody's going to run out and get gas if they can find it.
Yeah.
They're going to run out and buy up all the toilet paper, millions of dollars in food that they're never going to eat.
And I'm coming to your house.
Exactly, because we'll all have a party. 80% of the storms actually go the other way, don't they? So if you don't participate, you don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning a week before the storm hits to get your gas. You don't have to face the lines and all the stress of going through Walmart, which is now very stressful anyway. And I think
without a hurricane, it's very stressful.
Yeah, and I think the supply chain
fun.
issues are going to be worse. I think the supply chain issues and what's going on is going to make any catastrophe or any threat of catastrophe that much worse on us. So a little bit of preparation on that. Now's the right time to check your shutters, make sure they operate right. If there's repairs to be made, they're cheap and simple now. But when the storm's coming down, they're not so cheap and simple. So, and know how your shutters operate. If this is your first year in the house, you may never have put them up. Give it a try.
Yeah.
The average house, it takes 3 to 4 hours to put up paneled shutters. If you have accordions, it's a little bit easier. And if you have impact windows, well, you're styling anyway, aren't you?
What if you have a 2-story home like I do, Rich? How long does that take to put the...
As long as it takes to find the kid to get up there, right?
Well, thank God we have the impact glass now, so we
There
don't
you
have
go.
to worry about
There you
that
go.
nonsense.
And generators, if you've never used a generator and you have one, learn how to use it. Keep it away from the house. Most people don't die from the impact of a hurricane. They die because of what they're doing with the generators, and they get bored and they want to go outside during and after the storms, and so all the wildlife is out at the same time.
And speaking of generators, I really appreciate you stepping up to the plate this morning and offering those listeners a free generator. If was it caller number 10?
That's a very secretive thing we were going to do, but
It's already.
I don't want to spoil the surprise.
False
But,
alarm.
Mapping out how your extension cords work if you're running a small generator or whole home generators need to be checked.
So, Rich, going back to the generator issue,
Yeah.
There's all different types, styles, sizes, horsepower. What is your recommendation?
I have the Home Depot Special 7500 generator. When I purchased it a couple of years ago, who knows what the price is now?
So lights,
It's about
and,
$700.
lights and fans basically it can operate.
You're going to operate your refrigerator. You're going to operate, possibly, a small appliance like, your microwave actually soaks up more energy than everything else. So if you want to run the microwave, you're going to need to unplug the refrigerator to do so.
Cool.
That's another good point. Okay, if you have to evacuate, don't leave food in the refrigerator. If you're evacuating, the odds on you losing power are pretty good. And when you come home 3 or 4 days later and open up that refrigerator,
What am I going to do with all my T-bones?
you take them with you and throw them on the grill. One nice thing about Florida is that immediately after the storm, it's usually pretty nice out. It's a great time to cook out.
Nice and
So
hot.
make sure you have
Buggy.
extra LP. Oh, absolutely.
And bug spray.
Absolutely.
Take
So-
good inventory of all that too, right?
Once a year, right about this time, when we change the clocks, I do it once a year. When I change the clocks, I change the batteries in my smoke detectors. It's just a thing I've been doing for years. I'll walk through my house with my cell phone and take a nice big picture of everything in the house. Sometimes that's the only documentation you have that you have a 65-inch screen TV, because now it's on the neighbor's yard. Whether or not, the condition of the contents in your home and the condition of your home, that means a lot. Also, after you put up your shutters and everything else, God forbid you have to leave, take pictures. Now, if you have to leave, if the government tells you have to leave, your insurance policy will reimburse you for those expenses above your deductible.
But if you leave voluntarily, no.
If you leave voluntarily, you're on your own. Your insurance will not pay for the supplies, extra food, gas, that generator, or any other protective measures you have to make to that house. But you have to keep in mind, a hurricane's the last time that you want to file an insurance claim. You've got a very high deductible. Hurricane coverage does not cover what you think it does. Many things are not covered, such as spoiled food, your fence, for instance. Okay, even if it is covered, it's calculated at non-recoverable depreciation. So if you've got a 5-year-old fence outside, you're going to get a couple $100 to replace the entire thing, at the most. So knowing what your insurance policy actually pays for in a storm is really important. And in general, the best advice I can give you is to get a good local broker or agent that can explain to you what your insurance policy actually pays for, so you can be prepared.
And don't you review those policies with your clients?
Every day.
Yeah,
every
perfect.
day. And that's the last thing I do before I actually file a claim. If somebody calls and says they have damage, I verified first that they have the damage, and then we'll go through that policy and make sure they have the coverage.
And it's the last thing you do before you put your own shutters up.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've got copies of my policy in my car. I've got them everywhere. And if you think about it, if you own the house longer than a couple of years, you may not even know who your insurance company is.
Right.
You've got 4 policies all in that drawer, right? We all
which
have that
one's which?
drawer,
Yeah.
right? And you grab the first one you get to. If you, God forbid, you have damage after a hurricane, you don't want to file that claim immediately if it's been a major storm, unless you've got major damage. It takes attention away from people that need it, and the people that are in the field aren't exactly your A-team. This is anybody with an insurance license. They can get out there to take some pictures and be done. The insurance companies also live in Florida. So if Tampa got hit and your insurance company's in Tampa, they're not answering the phone. They get hit with a hurricane too. So if you give them a couple of days, you're going to get better service. The people that come and knock on your doors are never the right people to hire. They are never the right people to hire. Your insurance company doesn't care if you pay $5,000 to some guy to take the tree from your yard. If it's laying on your house, they care. But if it's just a downed tree and you paid all that money, that's an example of expecting money to come back that's not going to come back.
So, Rich, can the homeowner decide to use you instead of calling and using one of their adjusters? Or do they have to use their adjusters first and then, hey, get a second opinion from Cushing Claims?
And here's how that works. Okay, if you think the insurance company is going to do the right thing, if you think they're going to pay you what you deserve to be paid, you don't need a public adjuster. You probably need better medication, but you don't need a public adjuster, okay? In the instance of a hurricane where so little is going to be covered with such a high deductible, I almost prefer it if the homeowner, if they don't have catastrophic damage, approaches the insurance company directly and give them the opportunity to do the right thing. And then if they don't, get a good public adjuster, for instance, myself.
Oh, I know somebody.
Might, yeah.
On that note, Mr. Perfect Private Adjuster, Public Adjuster,
Public, right?
we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to ask some very poignant questions. So pull up your bootstraps and hang tight. The ride is going to be fun. You're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show on WSTU 1450, America's Heritage Station at WPSL 1590. And thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned because I promise you we will be right back.
Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, you're watching, you're listening to the Quality of Life Radio. There's some banter going back and forth here in the studio, man. It's absolutely crazy for a Tuesday morning. Too early for the banter, but it's fun. In case you're wondering what the heck you're listening to and watching, it's the Quality of Life Radio Show. Actually, Tom, it's the world famous Quality of Life Radio Show. And we were up in Omaha last week, you and I, and great times getting stuck at the airport and not being able to catch our plane and having to be stuck in Omaha for an extra night. But we had a great time and got to meet a lot of different agents up there and collaborated with agents and our national marketing organization partner in Omaha. So it was a great trip. And hopefully some of our insurance agents that were listening to us on stage are tuning in, so we appreciate that. So before we went on break, we were talking to Rich Cushing of Cushing Claims, public adjuster. We were talking about how to prepare for a hurricane. So for those of you in Omaha, it doesn't relate to you. God bless you. But you have other issues to worry about, like tornadoes, unfortunately. Hailstorms, yes, exactly. But for those of us in Florida and the peninsula, we have always have to be cognizant and worry about that. So, Rich, there's some new legislation in Florida that finally has taken place, and it's going to affect insurance companies and homeowners. So tell us a little bit about that.
A lot's going on. In the last 2 years, they've passed statutes and legislation that allows the insurance company to change the language in your policy, and nobody's talking about that. And they've also passed laws that actually make sense, or statutes that make sense, that are now being litigated. So those aren't taking effect for a while. The biggest things that they've come out with is to combat the rampant fraud. There's a huge amount of fraud in our business, right? AOB holders, assignment of benefits, is something you folks deal with in health insurance all the time, right? It allows a contractor, a mitigation firm, or roofer to act with gusto on your behalf without telling you that they're suing the insurance company, that they're taking any action against the insurance company. And they can hold the insurance company and your house hostage until they get paid. Their attorneys, and you've heard about these guys.
Oh, yeah.
If they turn around and sue the insurance company and get $1 more than the insurance company got paid, they got their fees. So in many cases, you get an extra $500 on the claim, and the attorney got an extra $5,000. The first 3 months of this year, 29,000 lawsuits were waged against insurance companies regarding homeowners' insurance claims.
And we wonder why they're going out of business.
20,000 of them were filed by the same 25 attorneys out of Miami.
Has anybody slapped them on the head?
This is just a numbers game. There are no free roofs. Okay, yes, your roof might be old. Yes, we might have had I get the letters in the mail too. I get emails all the time, people knocking on my door.
Yep.
We got a hailstorm. I haven't had hail in my house in 11 years. A big hailstorm came by. You got damaged. We'll get you a new roof.
But I peed on your roof once.
We did that a long time ago.
We won't
That
mention.
caused very little damage, but hey, we
Not
won't talk
tequila.
about
I mean, tequila does strange things to you.
So if the roofer goes ahead and talks you into filing an insurance claim, and you actually don't have wind or hail damage to your roof, you just invited the insurance company to come take a look at your house. How do you think that's going to go? So now, not only do they know you have an old, crappy roof, you've got to replace it right now.
Yeah, because you're going to lose coverage.
Immediately. Or it goes to forced place if you have a mortgage company. So a couple of things that on the laws that the state did pass with regards to language. You, in order to get a lower premium, can elect to have actual cash value assigned to your roof. That's the cost of your roof minus depreciation for age. On a shingle roof, that's 3.33% per year. I just happen to know that, right?
Wow, that's pretty smart.
10 years, that's 1/3 the value of your roof if it's in immaculate condition. All right. How does your mortgage company feel about that? If you look in your mortgage, mine has a clause that says I have to have recoverable cost valuation on my home and my roof. So if you come up short and you end up in a legal battle between the insurance company and your mortgage company, you lose. The insurance companies also have been putting in little things like right to repair. They don't let's just talk about roofs. They don't have to replace your roof. Now they can just repair it. Just pay for that damaged portion of the roof. Managed repair programs. You have a flood in your house. If you use their vendors, their contractors, by the way, those are the same people that have been suing the state for years. The 29,000 lawsuits, they're the same vendors that the insurance company hires to come out to your house now on their behalf. If you don't use their vendors, you might lose coverage automatically or be limited to $10,000 in coverage in total. And that's a citizen's policy, for instance, which a lot of us have to do.
Right.
Insurance is something you pay at the least amount of money you can for.
And that's insurer of last resort as well.
Yeah, you can't. Well, it's not the worst policy out there, though.
Correct.
They actually have a pretty darn good policy. It's just now they're a state agency, so they're a little bit more bureaucratic than the rest, but it's actually a pretty decent policy. It kind of mirrors the rest of the market. Some of these policies are incredibly restrictive. If you have a policy for $4,000 a year and another policy for $3,000 a year, the reason there's a $1,000 difference in that policy isn't because that's a AA excellent insurance company. It's because you gave up something. What did you give up? You know, they're not going to add things to your insurance policy. They're going to take them away.
Sure.
So that's why you don't go online and try to build your own policy with regards to homeowners. You need an agent. You need a broker that can explain that you're cutting your nose off to spite your face if you ever have to use this thing, right?
Yep, exactly. So you got a lot of wealthy information. That's awesome, and you know, obviously people need it. How do they get a hold of you, Rich?
You can reach me online. You can reach me on Facebook, Twitter. No, I don't do Twitter.
Yep, you're not tweeting now.
I'm not a tweet kind of guy. CushingClaims.com. You can also call me at 772-834-7385.
You're not a tweet kind of a guy, but you are a sweet kind of guy.
Oh, it's too early for that, Gary.
Yeah, well, no, it's never too early for that, Rich. You know that. By the way, how's Dawn doing?
Awesome.
All right, give her my. Is she listening?
She is.
Hey, Dawn, just a quick shout out. Hope you're doing well and glad you're tuning in. Very nice of you to do that. So we'll start now with the quote of the day. So, you know, we're humming along life, every one of us. I mean, I don't care where you are in the country, in the world. Some days it just flows, and I feel like I'm born to do this. Other days it feels like I'm trudging through hell. Every day I make the choice to show up and see what I've got and try and be better. That was for you, Rich, because I knew you were going to be here today.
I felt that.
You're doing a lot of trudging, so that was for you.
Okay. Who said that, Gary? Who said that?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Mo from the Three Stooges. Or Larry. He said, I want to do Mo better.
It sounds like
Mo better. Mo better today than yesterday.
So we're going to do a fun health fact. It's about optimism.
Very nice.
Did you know that optimism may help you live longer? Can seeing the glass half full help you live longer? Studies have found that there is a correlation between increasing levels of optimism with decreasing levels of death from cancer, disease, infection, and stroke. This is particularly true for cases of cardiovascular disease. Those who had the highest level of optimism had almost 40% lower risk of heart disease. So,
very nice.
I'm up the creek.
Mi amigo, be optimistic. All right. So, Tom, what do we want to do first? This day in history, or did you know 10 fascinating facts about the Americans?
Let's see. It's this day in history.
This day in history. All right. So, why don't you go ahead and do the 1777?
Okay, excellent. So this day in history, it's Tuesday, June 14th. During the American Revolution in 1777, the Continental Congress adopts the Stars and the Stripes.
Happy Flag Day.
Woohoo!
Yep, that's right. And 11 years later, 12 years later, in 1789, English Captain William Bligh and 18 of his officers were cast adrift from the HMS Bounty ship. There was a mutiny on board, and so the first mate took the captain and the officers and put them in a 23-foot open boat. 19 people in a 23-foot open boat, 3,600 miles from land.
Oh, my goodness.
And
19 people.
19 people in a 23-foot boat. And he made it, actually. They survived. I don't know if but I know the captain survived to go make the trip again. But anyway, that was a very interesting story about mutiny and how they survived.
On the Bounty. Yeah, the movie, Mutiny on the Bounty.
Yeah.
Excellent movie. In 1917, President Woodrow Wilson gives a Flag Day address.
Happy Flag Day, everybody.
This is Happy Flag Day today.
And then in 1922, Warren Harding becomes the first president to be heard on the radio.
Woohoo!
You're on the radio.
And now, quality of life is taking over. In 1985.
Boy, that was a stretch.
That was. It was a little stretch.
Yeah.
Was it?
We'll give it to him.
No, we're in 46 countries now. That's
47.
why we are the world
47.
famous.
Gotcha.
47? What? Okay. We
Soon to have
increased
48,
by-
right?
Right. We got to find our friends in Nigeria. I
Yes.
keep getting emails saying
Nepal.
I got a $10 million.
You won the lottery?
You too?
No, they said there's a whole story about how they need money for me to
I
set
got
up
the-
my account.
I
and-
got that email yesterday, so I thought I was the only one.
No.
Daggone it.
Sorry, Gary. We'll have to split it. It'll be okay. In 1985, TWA Flight 847 from Athens to Rome is hijacked by Lebanese terrorists. During the 17-day ordeal, they killed Navy diver and dumped his body on the runway. That was a sad day.
Scumbags.
Yes, they
They
were.
should have been hung.
Absolutely.
All right. And then a famous birthday today, Harriet Beecher Stowe. She was born in 1811. And then also it is former President Trump's birthday. He's 76 today.
Happy birthday.
So there you go. Optimism.
Optimism.
Remember, if you take nothing away today, take away optimism, because it will help you live longer. Now, if you're married and you're unhappy, then maybe it may not be so inclined to have optimism in your life. Maybe it's time to get a divorce. I don't know. But optimism will help you live longer, and life is worth living. So Tom, we're going to talk some issues that our clients are having this past week. In fact, this past month, one of my clients was upset about the Part B premium. But before we get to her issue, I want to remind everybody that those of you who are on Medicare, who are paying the Medicare Part B premium of $170.10 per month, some good news. I had mentioned this on my former radio show, on our Medicare Journey website, on a video, that due to the Aldohelm drug not being accepted in Medicare, now they're going to reduce the Part B premiums slated for 2023. So you can expect some good news that your Part B premiums will be reduced. We don't know yet what that premium amount's going to be. Tom, what would you guess? I mean, if you're going to be a betting man, let's put it on the table right now, and when the day comes, we'll see who's the closest. So today it's 170. Before they raised it, it was 148.50. So where do you think that number is going to be for 2023?
I'm going to say 155.50.
So Tom says 155.50. All right. What does Gary say? I'm going to say it would be $159.
Split the baby.
That's kind of where I'm going to go. So we'll see.
Split the baby.
Very cool. All right. So when we get notification from CMS what that new Part B premium is, we will certainly let you know right here on the show. So, and then before we get the other thing, Tom, I want to kind of, because you know, both of us deal with this quite a bit with our seniors or any client, quite frankly, who's looking for a final expense policy where it's guaranteed issue. So no health underwriting questions. And obviously there's some people that wait, they procrastinate to get life insurance. And so now they're 65, they're talking to us about Medicare, and we ask them, oh, by the way, you know, what do you have or who do you have for your life insurance policy? And to our chagrin, they have typically
Nothing.
So what can we do, Tom, if they have health issues and they can't qualify for standard life insurance?
Yeah, and that's what guaranteed issue indicates, is that there's no medical question, so it's guaranteed that the policy will be issued. So typically, there's health underwriting questions, and a policy could be denied, and it would not be issued. But a guaranteed issue is exactly what it says. So a guaranteed issue policy is for people who could not qualify for a regular issue, and the benefits don't fully, you don't maximize your full death benefit until 2 years later, after month 24. And if you die before month 24 or at the end of month 24, the beneficiary would only get their premium back, then typically about 10%. So it's a nice little return on your small investment for your premium. But after 24 months, you can die of anything. Now, if you die of, another little caveat, if you die of an accident within that first 24 months, you would get the full death benefit. Say you have a $5,000 or $10,000 policy, you die within the first 24 months of a medical issue, you'll only get your premium back, plus 10%. If you die after the 24 months of anything, you would your beneficiary would get the full amount.
And very good. And then obviously the premium will be a little higher than your traditional final expense policy that has underwriting, obviously, because the insurance company's taking a little bit more of a risk. But so nonetheless, it's still competitive. And if you have questions about final expense, you don't have any, or you'd like us to review your current policy, a life insurance policy, or a final expense policy, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. And Tom, what's the other number they can reach us at?
772-210-1020.
So, Rich, which one do you like better? 772-210-1020?
Or 772-210-1020.
I like that delivery a lot better, Gary. Oh, that kind of gave me tingles.
You like the delivery, but
gave me tingles.
It flows off the tongue at 210-1020.
It does.
See,
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Stop looking at my tongue. All right.
He's a very precise man.
Yes, he is. On Tuesdays, anyway. Okay. This is a very interesting story. I wrote this husband a Medicare supplement plan a little over 2 months ago. And the wife is complaining that the premiums are too expensive and that he's paying $615 a month. Oh, it's break time. All right. Hold on to that $615 a month premium. I'm going to get right back to you so you know what to do when this happens to you. You're watching and listening to the Quality of Life radio show on WSTU and WPSL. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
All right, welcome back to the Quality of Life Radio Show. I'll give a quick shout out to Greg Wyatt. He is the station owner, and he just informed us that we are right and wrong, Tom, about the number who's listening, the countries. So,
But on average, we're right.
we're right in the middle. So 39 countries are tuning in to WSTU, so thank you very much. And then 49 countries are tuning in to WPSL. So we are broadcasting simultaneously on both stations. So for those of you that are tuning in on and tune in from these other 49 countries, we want to say thank you and welcome, and come to our show anytime you please.
Gracias. Salamat po.
All right, very good. Do you have any final words to say about that one?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I'm gonna keep
Our
muting
guest
on
is
that
falling asleep in the corner. All right, so 600 I should bet you a bill. $615. I'm saying, ma'am, there's no way that the premium for the Medicare supplement plan is $615. But I got a bill from Social Security. Well, but that's Social Security. That's not me. I can't help what the Social Security is charging you. We went back and forth for days on this, and unfortunately, she wasn't very nice in her emails and phone calls. Not pleasant at all, and I will not read the emails. But then, and I got another email yesterday. We're inviting people to our first annual client appreciation dinner on August 10th. So for those of you that are out there who are clients, make sure that you attend on August 10th at the Flagler Center in downtown Stewart. It's going to be a great event. And if you're not a client and you do want to attend, come see Tom and I at the office, and we'll be happy to make you a client, no matter what it is, all right? But you don't want to miss this party. It's going to be a great party. But so finally she sent me, in her email she goes, well, why would I come to your party? You're charging me more than 3 times the amount you told me that we would pay. Well, again, misunderstanding. And listen, I get it. Medicare's confusing. It's convoluted. It's crazy. It changes all the time. And this is what we do, you know? I mean, just like someone who has questions with you, Rich, they're going to come to an expert. They're going to ask the expert and seek guidance and not sit there and berate that person, but listen. And so then I asked to send me or come to my office, show me what you're talking about, or send me something in the mail or in an email that shows me what you're paying, what you're talking about. So this is what she sends me today. I don't know if you can see that or not. Iggy, can they see that on the camera? So thank you. So this is the bill, the monthly bill that the client got. $615.60. I mean, of course, I'd be a little peed off myself getting a bill like this. But when you are a high income earner, there are 6 levels of income related to the Part B premium. So, and Social Security, in their infinite wisdom, will go back 2 years and see what your income was 2 years ago and base their base your premium on that household MAGI, your modified adjusted gross income. So
I did not know that.
See, you learn something new every day.
I did not know that.
And that's what Irma comes
That's
in.
like
I told you we'd talk about
epiphany.
Hurricane Irma. I mean, that's like a hurricane.
Income-related monthly adjustment amount.
That's
Gotcha.
it.
The second A is silent.
I
So-
thought I was good after I got Medicare.
So, Rich, when you turn 63, right? You got to make sure your household income is less than $182,000.
I'll
Have
let
your
Don
accountant
know.
do the magic.
I'll let Don
They
know.
can do it.
Otherwise, you'll be paying surcharge on your Part B premium. But anyway, by the time you turn 65,
It won't matter.
it won't matter.
It won't matter.
Yeah, it won't matter for
You're
me.
going to be so rich. Oh, my goodness.
He's already
Yours will be
rich.
$1,000.
He's already rich. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, so if your income, your household income in 2020 is $182,000 or less, you're married filing jointly, you're going to pay the standard Part B premium of $170. If your income is between 182 and 228, you'll pay the 238 additional Part B premium to the 170 and a Part D surcharge of $1240. If your income is 228 to 284, you can expect to add another $340 to your Part B premium surcharge and a $32 surcharge on your Part D premium. Part D being prescription drugs, of course. If you're lucky enough to be making 284 to 340, you're at 442 and a 5170 surcharge on Part D. And in this client's case, if you're between 340,000, oh, woe is me, to 750,000, the sky is falling because you're paying $544.30 in addition to your 170 Part B premium and your Part D 7130. And if you're over 750,000, then you're lucky enough to be paying $578. And we've got clients that come in and they're at that top level of $578 surcharge on top of their 170, and they complain and they moan and they groan. But you know what I say? Congratulations.
You're in the top 1%.
You're in the top 1%.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I'd be complaining one bit. They get a chuckle out of that, and they figure it out.
Right. And there are some remedies to that, Gary. Of course, if there's been major change in their income or they've retired and they're no longer making that, there are appeal letters. So they can certainly give Gary or myself a call, 772-210-1020.
Or 772-210-1020.
Isn't that teamwork?
It is.
We
Can I
support
insert a
one
quick
another.
question?
Yeah, you can.
All right. So if you turn 67 and your income dropped to a measly 300,000 from your 750, does that premium get adjusted downward?
So good question.
Yes.
So if you retire, you're making less income, then there's a form, the SSA Form 44, that you can fill out. It's called a life-changing event. So if you have less income, you've retired, you've got married, you've got divorced, death of a spouse, you can complete that form, and it's basically like an appeal form, and they'll review that and then put you back probably in the 170 category.
So if you don't do anything,
You're
paying the big bucks.
You're paying the big money. Right. So this is why you need a guide. This is why you got to talk to the Boov and Gary, so we can help be your guide and answer the questions you have, so you don't run amok with Social Security.
Because there's so many do-it-yourselfers out there.
No!
Yes, there are.
You go to
I'm
Lowe's?
just going to, well, not only in the handyman work, which sometimes after they do it themselves, then they call in the professionals to fix the problem, but also with their Medicare and their health insurance. They say, it costs too much, because you know how much you'll pay when you get our advice and our counsel and our wisdom and our experience?
We charge a lot of money,
A
Tom.
lot of money. They should be sitting down right now. A big fat $0.
Should we change that policy?
For some things, we should. Yeah.
I'm thinking we should start charging, and then they'll see the value.
About your famous bourbon glaze. We need to. They get that as a gift, I believe.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, actually, we'll be giving away a bottle of our world famous Gary and Tom Sweet Bourbon Glaze at this year's customer or client appreciation party. So again, you don't want to miss it.
That's going to be fun. Call the office. Make sure you reserve a seat, as there is limited seating.
Yeah, so we've got a couple thousand clients, but we can only limit it to 10% because the room only holds 225, 250. So and some good news is that we're also going to invite several of our Medicare carriers. So we've got commitments from 5 or 6 of those Medicare carriers. So we're excited to have them, and you can meet and put a face to the name of the carrier, and bring some humanity to the insurance world. And this is what Tom. This is what we do. This is why people love us. This is why they come to us.
Oh, the humanity. Yep.
Absolutely. We're faced, we're local, we're licensed, we're trusted, we're not going anywhere. We have brick and mortar office. There's so many reasons. It doesn't cost you anything. Our services are free. Even if somebody just learned about that claims form or the request to adjust their IRMA, and they begin to save thousands and thousands of dollars, we don't benefit $1 from that knowledge. But you do, and that's just one little piece of information.
But what do we ask them for return, though, Tom?
Well, we love referrals.
Yeah, there you go.
We love for you
it's the
to
lifeblood of
share
our business.
your joy of Owen Insurance Group with your family, friends. Give us good reviews on Facebook and Google. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so we'll close out this third segment with top concerns of Medicare enrollees. And what are they? Rich, do you have any idea what the top concerns of Medicare enrollees might be?
Out-of-pocket expense and premium dollars.
Premium dollars, out-of-pocket expense. Okay. Kind of on the right track there. So it's navigating Part B. We just talked about that. And we have a client. We frequent their establishment because of the great lunch menu and breakfast menu they have, and unfortunately, the owner forgot or just didn't know what to do about his Part B. So unfortunately, now he went beyond. It's like 8 months past since he turned 65. So Tom, what does he have to do?
Well, unfortunately, according to the Medicare rules, a person who does not enroll in Part B, there is a open enrollment period for that called the general election period, I believe January 1st through March 31st.
Yep.
And then the Part B won't start until July 1st. So I have a client
crazy.
coming in on Thursday who very similar situation. He had to apply during that general enrollment period or general election period and get his Part B because it wasn't done at the appropriate time. And now he or the gentleman you're speaking of may be having a late enrollment penalty. And some of the nervous Nellies out there are always concerned about the late enrollment penalty when they're doing everything right. But in the case of not enrolling in Part B at the proper time, with all the different Medicare rules, you can incur like a 10% per year on top of your Part B premium. So, and if you're into the IRMA situation, that
Adding
could
insult
become,
to injury.
Yeah, adding insult to injury. That's right. More money out of your pocket. And all those years you paid into Medicare, you would think that there would be some remedy, but
Well, we're trying. I mean, we're under the impression, understanding that GEP may go away because it does break the backs of many Medicare beneficiaries. To me, it's just not fair to let them wait that long. So we hope that CMS will agree with Tom and I and get their what together and start watching out for Medicare beneficiaries, for God's sake.
yeah, and if they don't have to wait until January through March and then wait again until July 1st to become effective, they'll still have the penalty. So it's not like we just want anybody to do whatever they want with the Medicare rules, but you're right. I mean, if somebody really needs it, they've been paying in for 40 or 50 years into the Medicare system, and then to have to wait another 8 months, 9 months, or a year when they realize they didn't do things precisely the way it was supposed to be done.
But the good news is that we'll still be able to get him insurance through a group plan, a group policy. So these will cover him for the next year until next July 1st when he finally gets his Part B effective date. So
Good.
We'll have some help and support there. And again, this is why you use the experts at Owen Insurance Group, because we will be your guide. We are your advocate. And listen, there's been times where an agent has met, an agent who may work out of their home, not to degrade an agent who might be working out of their house or out of their back of their car, or this happened to be a captive agent with a certain carrier, but she had this client enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan from a supplement plan, and now she's having, and she was 80 years old, had all these out-of-pocket expenses now, and it was not the right thing to do for this client. And so it was past, it was actually 2 years past when she did that. And so she came to us and we were able to file an appeal. They declined it the first time. And you know what? I don't take no for an answer. So we went again and we picked up the phone and we finally was able to get the appeal. It was overturned and we got her back into a Medicare supplement plan, and she was happier than a flying bird on a windy day.
A flying bird on a
With
windy day.
with a worm in her beak.
Wow, very nice.
There's some visual going on there. Yeah.
Visuals. Big juicy worm.
Okay, I'm moving on. And so, let's see. Oh, Part D drugs. So, of course, I mean, there is always an issue with Part D drugs, the cost of that. And again, I mean, Big Pharma has their hands and their bloody elbows deep into your pockets, and maybe their shoulders, for God's sakes. And it's crazy. I mean, what is going on with the prices of drugs? The government needs to step in and do something to make it more affordable. And it is absolutely ridiculous. What you pay for a drug on, let's say, a commercial plan or a group plan before you turn 65 might be a Tier 1 drug, and you might be paying $5 for it. Now you're on Medicare, it might be a Tier 3 drug, and you might be paying $50 for it. So it's crazy. And again, every year the drug plans change. So that's why it's incumbent upon you to reach out to us so we can sit down and find out what is going to be the best plan, because the drug plans change every year, the formulary changes, the tiers change. So it's important for you to reach out to Owen Insurance Group, 772-210-1020, and we'll help, again, navigate the complexities of Medicare Parts A, B, and D, and C.
Absolutely. And Gary, you're right. So many people are shocked when they get onto Medicare, and the biggest shock is the Part D, is the drugs.
It is.
And on very few occasions, they're surprised because their drug costs have gone down. But for the most part, they're shocked at, oh my gosh, I was only paying expensive drug, paying $25 a month for that. Now it's $47 plus a deductible, plus coverage gap, plus a lot of other confusing rules. So
Yep.
Let us help you.
And then the third most common issue is MA denials. Clients not knowing how to file an appeal when there's an MA denial. So again, if you need help, call us at 772-210-1020. We'll provide you the support and the guidance that you need. And again, Tom and I do this for love and passion. And we're here to help you because we know that if we do the right thing for our clients, they'll refer us to their friends, family, and neighbors so we can help them and so they can have a great quality of life and health as well. So I guess we're down to our last minute of the show. So we hope that you enjoyed the show. Rich, real quick, one last time, how do they reach Rich Cushing Claims?
At 772-834-7385.
All right. And so our friend Dr. Brian Moriarty, hopefully he's listening. He usually is while he is working on his patients. But he will be here in our studio next Tuesday morning. Dr. Brian with Loving Chiropractic. So we're excited to have him with us. And Tom and I will continue espousing our knowledge about the Medicare world and, of course, under 65 and life insurance and so forth. So, hey, listen, we just say thank you very much to all of you in the country and our Treasure Coast and the 49 other countries. Thanks for joining us. We hope that you enjoy the show. Obviously, you are, because you keep tuning in week after week. So make sure you share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors. And also, last thing, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.